everybody. Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast and A.S.D.P. I'm sure you're catching us right now live on Alien Strand there on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, welcome. Thank you for following us on Twitter. Today, we're going to be talking about the Nevada incident that just happened a few days ago. And we're going to have two other guests on with me as well. We're going to have Terry Linch and Mr. David Aliff. So, and we're going to get into it a little bit and just talk about everything that happened that night and that evening. So we're very intrigued about everything that's happening with that story. It seems to change a little bit, but it's pretty much been stuck on point as we've been going with it. As you guys know, of course, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Go to Watch the Middle. Please go watch it there on Amazon Prime and ledsfilms.com, free on Tubi TV, 13 other platforms, Hoopla. We're all over the place. So go check that out. We just hooked up our 16th platform. All right. So these are the channels you can catch it on. Give us the thumbs up, man. Share it with your friends. Hope you guys enjoy it. Now, speaking of The Middle, that filmed last year and we released it this year. So now guess what? We have The Middle 2, C3. We're going to start filming next week already. So we're going to have people, just interview a lot of folks that have been affected by extraterrestrials and extraterrestrial craft and things that happens to them in their lives, in their daily lives, right? So, and this is what this film is going to be about. We want to spread the awareness and the disclosure, on everything that's happening. If you guys want to comment, I can see your comments come through and I'll put them on the screen, just chime in with us as we talk about this Nevada thing that just happened a few days ago. All right. So if you missed our last podcast, esoteric podcast, man, I have a hard time saying that. I don't know why. With Mr. Bradley Powers and Jim Andre. If you have a chance, go back, check that out. We spoke about 2 hours, but you know what? It was a great show. We got a lot of information out there to a lot of folks. Because we have to spread disclosure, and that's what it's about. It's coming out more and more every day. That's what the disclosure is about. We as a team, we have put together Alien Strand Disclosure Project. And I hope you guys have gone and checked out our website at ASDP-UFO.com. You can actually report a UFO, talk to any of our representatives. I think we have maybe 10 representatives already from all over the country and 2 other countries as well. So go visit our site and you can download a lot of freebie stuff there too. If you're interested in disclosure, there's a lot of stuff that has been declassified. And then we have a case on there already. So we also do supernatural. Now, speaking of Alien Strand Disclosure Project, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some people you might know and you might not know, but we're going to get to know them. So right now we're going to bring in Mr. Terry Linch. And then we're going to bring in Mr. David Aliff. Welcome, guys.
How are you tonight?
How y'all doing?
I am doing very well. I'm tired as heck, though. I was painting. I was doing some painting today, man. And let me tell you, it's just when you haven't done it in a while, it really kicks your butt, man. I'm telling you, it gets you going, climbing up and down the stairs, the ladder, and on your knees. And of course, I'm too old now, man. I got to wear knee pads, dude. I don't know about you guys. So when it comes to stuff like that,
I have to wear knee pads going up ladders.
Oh yeah. You never know. You never know when you're going to fall. You never know when you're going to fall. So let's talk about. Before we get into this, we all here are with Alien Strand Disclosure Project. I want everybody to know that we're all part of the family, and so we're going to be able to kind of take a look at a video that came out a couple of days ago, and I'm going to go ahead and share it right now. It's a UFO that somebody caught with their digital camera. You can tell because of the zooming, the sound of it, and looks like it's trying to autofocus. So let's go ahead and check that out. Here we go. So what we saw there is basically a craft that you can't pretty much see with your eye. He had to really zoom in on that to actually, get the image. So that video, it's not as when you watch the original, it's not as clear. So I enhanced it a little bit. I clarified it a little bit. What do you guys think about what you're seeing there on screen?
Well, what I gather on that is that they're using an autofocus on something like a Canon or Nikon when they're zooming in, and sometimes the camera will catch what's up there, sometimes it will not. You notice how it disappeared completely. That's when you're 100% out of focus. It came into focus, and then right at that point where it started to come into perfect focus, gone. It's kind of I would almost want to call it a defect in our photography equipment. However, if you start going into something that's got a really, really good processing unit for doing the picture and taking the photography. Now, here I go. I am Nikon. Get everybody laughing for a second because I say it every time.
Damn right.
All right. Now, the problem here is Sony has a better processor. Nikon can super zoom in. Undoubtedly, Nikon is our #1 super zoom camera. But you can get a Sony super zoom camera that goes up to, I believe it's an 800 millimeter, and the picture is spectacular compared to 3000 millimeter Nikon super zoom. However, you get a lot more with your Nikon. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Nikon's your bigger bang for the buck. But what happened there? That looks like it was done with a cell phone. Okay, somebody was trying to zoom in with a cell phone. You could tell that they did not have a tripod in that. But the things I did see in that picture was when they did have that one moment of clarity, I could see around that craft, you could actually see EMF field. You could tell that was an anomaly in the sky. Yep. And you could clearly tell it was not an airplane or a bird. So that right there, I would have to say that right there was a good, as far as this A.S.D.P. ufology is concerned, that's a craft.
What do you think, David?
I definitely agree on all accounts, from the Nikon to the UFO.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
my phone acts like that too when I pick up things like that, and it does the autofocus, and sometimes it just can't latch onto it, especially if you can't see it with your eye. I can just imagine it having a hard time. So
yeah,
you can definitely see there's a field around that craft.
Right.
It's not hauling butt like a jet or a helicopter. Definitely something that we haven't seen.
It's stationary and it's not moving. It's in that tilt and it's kind of just staying there like that. I mean, and it's in a hover. It looked to me, when you zoom in, it kind of looks like probably about as big as a large car maybe, or a bus. That's
about where how the houses were, and then you take that size and imagine the zoom going up.
Right.
That's what I'd say.
I'm thinking it's probably about that big. That was a great catch, by the way. And whoever did it and whoever got it, hey man, thank you. That was awesome. We lost Terry. Oh, there he goes. He's coming back. He's popping back in. So today we're going to talk about the Nevada.
We move spots.
Yeah, you move spots. We're going to talk about the Nevada incident. So what happened on recently here last week on June 7th. We got the police cam, right? And well, I guess he was talking to somebody or had somebody pulled over, and then his
domestic dispute.
Yeah, his body cam ended up picking up this craft going by, or this blue streak streaking by, and what you're seeing there on the left side of the photo. And then on the right side, somebody actually stopped it and cleared it up a little bit. So I mean, what do you guys take on this? When he first saw this, and then the report started coming in that somebody called in that something hit their backyard. What do you guys? What's your take on that?
Would you like to take this first?
It's not a meteorite. I mean, they go a little faster and they burn out.
Right.
Before they hit the ground normally. I mean, and this thing doesn't seem to be going that fast, and it makes noise.
Right.
There's the other clip that I'm sure you have it, but it makes a pretty good noise as it's coming down.
Right. There's like a boom. You can hear it I think it was the neighbor's ringer camera, right? That caught the boom.
Yes. That's what
the doorbell.
That.
Yeah. Terry, what do you think about that?
On top of the noise that you hear when it comes down, one of the things he's talking about is it's almost like the D1 sharp noise I was talking about and my D1 sharp hypothesis. It was making a humming noise before it came down. You can hear that clearly in the video. And as it came down, then you heard the boom. And I believe that was the camera that was kind of focused across their backyard. They didn't have it aimed at the location. Right. The other one was the family, as they were coming around the back, they had opened up the gate, and you could vaguely see. I filtered quite a few things actually from what I could grab from small bits of video, and as well as satellite footage looking in. But you could actually kind of see the eyes of one of the aliens as it was looking towards him.
I think that this video, the police cam, caught it about 11:50, something like that.
Right.
Before the call came in, before the family here, the Gomez family, so they ended up calling it in. And talk to dispatch. I think it was at 12:29. I'm not sure, but we'll look back at that here in a second. But they ended up calling it in, and he's saying, "Hey, man, something hit the backyard. We don't know exactly what it is, but we see two large aliens, standing out there. And they're non-human." He says they don't look human, right? Who says that?
Right. I'd like to interrupt for just a second. Angel Gomez. I would really like for you to reach out to our ufologist Donald Ledesma. He's not going to make fun of you. He's going to make sure the story is told correctly. I understand that you've got many other offers for what's happened here, but we're 100% disclosure at A.S.D.P. And I believe that you can get your story told correctly. I know I got mine told correctly through Donald Ledesma, as well as many other ufologists and people who are witnesses and abductees and people who have seen what you've seen. I also, just like you, I had eye-to-eye contact. Okay, you're going to start knowing things you didn't realize you were going to know. And now's the time to get a hold of somebody that can actually talk to you and understand what happened with you. I think I've seen things eye to eye. Mr. Donald Ledesma can interview you 100% and give you exactly the type of respect that you need. A.S.D.P. is based on your story and respect. That's how we are. So don't think that we're going to shun your family. You need to come talk to us about this. We're not the government, and we're not CNN. We're not any of that. We're citizen ufologists. What do you say, Donald?
Háblame, por favor. Give me a call, brother. Give me a call, and I'll be glad to talk to you, and and we'll talk about your story, and we'll bring it out. We'll give the exact truth of what's happening. I know people are scared sometimes, and they just. Right now, he's got a lot of anxiety. That's what he reported yesterday.
He's being intimidated.
Yeah, he's got a lot of anxiety. So it'd probably be best to wait just a little bit before you talk to him. But when you're ready, give us a call, Alien Strand Disclosure Project, or call me directly, man, and I'll be glad to talk to you, and we'll get your story out there a little bit better and in a safer manner, to where you don't have to worry. That's what we're about.
For disclosure.
Exactly. So right here we have the where the family starts talking to the police officer of what they witnessed. It already happened, so they're already talking to him, and then another officer came on after this and talked to them as well. So of course, the only reason the officer went over there is because he saw it himself, right?
Yeah,
he was curious. He was like, what the hell, and then this call comes in that there's aliens in the backyard. He wanted to go see if what the hell's going on.
He couldn't deny it.
Yeah, and he even said, if there's aliens in your backyard, don't call me. I don't want to go back there. I know he was joking, but the sensitivity of it, a lot of people will freak, man, if they saw something like that. I mean, look what this family's going through.
Angel, if the police won't call us, we'll come.
Right. They don't believe you.
We will be there.
They don't believe you at all. You come to somebody who will believe and won't judge you, won't put you down, and be totally unbiased. We're here for you 100%.
So this is the dispatch call from the LVMPD, about what he saw, what time, everything, and I believe it says 12:29.22. That's what time the call came in, and the dispatcher started talking to I believe Angel. I think that's his name. That was telling the dispatcher that there's something in his backyard, and it's about 8 to 10 feet tall. I mean, how would you know if it was 8 to 10 feet tall, right? I mean, especially as a young man, right? He's probably about 17, 18 maybe.
16, I believe he's 16.
But he works on forklifts and those front end loaders, so he knows how tall those damn things are, right?
Yes, he's got the mast on the forklift, and he's got the fence beside him, the big fence that they had around the property, as well as the entire property is completely covered in gravel. I noticed that there's a bunch of stuff that's disinformation that's been going out on Facebook as well as anywhere on the internet. There was one where they're showing something that's got kind of a long tail. There's other ones that are showing shorter creatures, but the biggest one is not one of them. It was actually certified by the family that said that they'd seen what they'd seen, and until you actually have the information from the person, don't count on what's out there. Donald had actually put out something the other day from another ufologist that stated that whenever something like this takes place, immediately there's government, there's all kinds of other people that throw out misinformation immediately to try and make it to where it looks like it's fictitious.
Exactly.
So within an hour, there was all kinds of disinformation that had nothing to do with it, that they were trying to tie with it, and it was trying to make these people that had witnessed this look like they did not witness what they had seen.
Even the cops that came out and said that it was unfounded. The police on site.
See, exactly.
You know what I mean? By their upper command. Right. They don't want this thing to get out. I mean, I don't even know why, because the government is leaking things, and then you get something like this that they just want to try to sweep under. I don't understand. There's too much information and too much credible evidence.
Exactly. I mean, and like I said, they kind of joked about it at the beginning, but they were pretty much serious on what they know, that they saw something. And they, for them to go over there and go to their house, they had to go. Now they have to submit another report, right? Because the first report, the call, the second report is when they got to actually talk to the people there.
Well,
and then,
two sergeants.
And then get all the information. Now, did they get all the information from everybody? I don't know. Nobody knows that yet. Not until there's a police report out there that they talked to this person and that person. But how can you make a report? Like I said, I used to be a police officer back in '94 and to '96. It was 2 years only. But when you do a report, I mean, how are you going to do a report like that about a UFO or about it's the stigma is still there, but how do you make the report like this family said they saw this 8 to 10 foot being with big black eyes, and you're writing this in your report, right? You take that back. You take that back to the office and submit that report. Your sergeant's going to look at you and you can say, "Dude, you actually did a report on this." You know what I mean? So it kind of the stigma, man. There's some people like that still today. But I mean, I hope they did a report on it, because that would be so awesome. I mean, I think so.
That's part of why I didn't that's why I didn't report what happened with me with Bend Police or the Sheriff's Department. Originally, I was scared. Okay. But by the way, Bend Police, Bend Sheriff's Department, you guys want to report, here I am.
Yeah.
We've made a documentary, we've made a movie. You can pretty much get all your answers from that. However, I continue to see things. I know how to see things because of what I experienced. And there's many more people around this location, but around the world, but in this location, that they can see the same things that I'm seeing. I've got people that are showing me stuff right here in the area. I take my reports. I've interviewed people from all over the world that have seen the same thing that I've seen, and many other different things. We have a situation here where we're getting ready to meet. I believe we're getting ready to start to meet these things. It doesn't matter if they're the ones from here, the ones that live within the earth, right, but it could be something from somewhere else. Okay. However, we got to get ourselves prepared, because they're starting to show themselves on a regular basis. And this gentleman over here, thank you. That way. I gotcha. He's the guy that takes our reports for A.S.D.P. And Donald Ledesma, he's our founding member of Alien Strand. This guy's let's just call him the Godfather. Anyway, and then I'm one of those big muscle bastards that'll smack you across the mouth if your research ain't right.
That's right.
So you better get your research right before you run it past me. And I'm looking for people all around the world that do this. Now we have a big list of people up for our website, but there's a lot more people involved. We have people in India. We have people in Iran. We have people in Taiwan, the Philippines, China, Japan. We have every country listed that we have ufologists in. At some point, some of these people will be put up on there. What we're doing is we're going through different ufology groups. The different ufology groups are very happy to see us. And what we're doing is we're looking for the cream of their crop. We want people that know their business, but we don't want egos. If you've got an ego walking into this, you're not going to be part of this. Yeah, we don't care for your ego.
So we got somebody's talking right here. His name's Mark Stockton. Okay. He's on my Facebook page, as a matter of fact. He says my body cam, if any, can be requested by public request. So you can get that information. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. That helps.
I appreciate that too.
Yeah, for that.
There's a lot of good police officers in the world, by the way.
Yes, there is.
I've got the numbers to the body cam footage, so we can request it anytime we want.
Nice. Rock and roll, man. David's on the ball. Man, you're going to get a raise, son. So let's talk about the okay. So we already talked about what happened when it was reported, the 911 dispatch call, the interaction with the police and the Gomez family. Let's talk about the sonic boom that was heard on the neighbor's ringer cam. I believe I don't have the video of it, but it's out there already, man, all over.
I've got it out on A.S.D.P. Group out on
So, David, what is your take on that part of it?
Well, you can definitely hear it coming down. It's loud. Those ring cameras are really good for picking up pretty much anything in your neighborhood. And you can hear it coming down. You can hear it slam into the ground. It didn't hit a tree. That's a solid hit. Very solid.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I heard it. I mean, it's just you can hear it when it's just coming in, and then boom, it lands, right? What are your thoughts of that, Terry?
Well, from what I've seen of the different satellite footage going into the location, I can see a ring where there's kind of waves moving in. I did a gamma filtration on it. You can see it right there, and both in that picture, but you can see a gamma filtration on it. And it sounded to me like this location may have had this indentation. So without knowing much more about what's going on, from what I see, it looks like something hit that location. It came in, it stopped. They had about 10 minutes to get their whatever back together, get back in the craft, and get out. However, it's the entire inside of that yard is a gravel pit, as well as it's got look like about 8-foot cinder block walls around it. What I'm looking at could possibly also be where equipment might have turned inside the yard. I don't want to sound like we know everything.
Right.
So what I'm seeing here could be the radius of a turn on a forklift, or it could be a radius of the side of a craft that sat down. Now, if you look at that radius is roughly about 15, I would say 15 to 16 foot. If you were to do the complete analyzation of it, I'm taking a shot here. I'm not, this is without any measurements. I'm looking at that as the size of that radius. You don't really see any equipment that's going into that direction. It's almost a perfect circle, so it looks like something came in and it landed into that location. You see a wave underneath that. I don't know if you have. I sent a picture with gamma. I did a gamma filter.
Yep.
You can also see the filter with that line. There it is. This is my A.S.D.P result. You can see the wave line. Now, that type of wave line is in the skyline would be considered what's called a scalar wave up in the sky. Whenever there's like a large explosion off in the distance, like say that giant volcano that just went off. What do they call that? Tonga. There was a volcano out in the middle of the ocean that went off. It sent scalar waves out around the world 4 times. That little bit that you see right there, the ripples, that's what a scalar wave would look like. And when you have an impact go into the Earth, you end up with what would be a scalar wave, not only on the land, but you'd have a scalar wave in the sky, especially if you heard a large, almost like a sonic boom or a boom.
Well,
so
yeah, it's like
that looks like an actual impact to me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's clarify this just a little bit before we go a little deeper into this. So, David, what did you find on this actual impact? I'm going to go back one picture, then we'll go back forward. Hold on.
Okay.
There's
so
a couple of things about this that came up for me. One, on the size, if you look over to the left of the circle, there's a shipping container. Those come in 20 foot by 8 foot wide,
Right.
30 foot long, or 40 foot long. That one looks like a 20 foot long one. If you slide that over to that circle, it looks about the same lengthwise, maybe a little bit more. So it's size comparison. This circle came up on Google Maps back in April 18th, 2022, and May 31st of 2022, and then June 14th of 2022 as being right in that same spot. But that doesn't mean that the craft wasn't there. That's where they saw it. So I'm going by what he said, Angel Gomez.
Right.
Then the picture on the right showing the gamma shot, it looks to me like it's off just a little bit. It's in the circle, but I mean, it's just off to the side. You know what I'm saying? So it probably landed right in that area.
Right.
I mean, who would say, Angel, you're wrong? He saw it.
That's true.
Yeah, he was.
David Nash says, I'd say it was about 50 foot in diameter. He's guessing. So that's pretty much it. And he says he's seen a lot of videos already in Las Vegas since the day of that crash. Not crash, the landing. We're going to call it a landing. It's not a crash because there was no recovery of that whatever happened. We still don't know. See, and this is what I'm trying to establish on the landing, right? When it landed in their backyard, and when they opened the fence, you could see them kind of go in the fence, and then they get spooked and they jump back, right, in the video.
You can see it.
Yeah, but I cannot see the craft. You know what I mean? So, in other words, if the big forklift's in the way, that thing's about what? How tall do you think that is, David? Maybe or probably about.
It's over 10 feet.
Over 10, 12 feet. Yeah. And then when you see the being, the extraterrestrial, it's standing like literally at the window.
Yep.
So we know that thing is more than 8 feet. It's about 10 feet because I used to drive those forklifts like that. They're huge.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if there was an impact or there was a UFO, let's just say, that landed back there, it was not glowing. There was no lights. There was nothing. So do you think that maybe when it landed, it kind of like went dark, maybe, like, you know what I mean? Or maybe invisible? Because when it comes in the atmosphere going across the sky, it's that blue color. Yep. And we figured it'd be glowing somewhat, right?
That's the exact color I had coming out of that off the Wendigo. Remember when we did the interview at Black Crater?
Yeah.
That was the exact color of the craft that were coming out of the side of the mountain for me. When I had Chris Hamill filtrate it. Now, what I'm seeing here is that we need to get a better response time with law enforcement. I'm not saying law enforcement's slow. These guys have got a lot of things on their mind. They got a lot of things going on. They're in the middle of saving somebody from somebody else that's doing something wrong. Right. Okay, I understand that. But whenever we've got something like this, throw that damn bastard in the back of your car and let's go. Let's go see what's on the other side. That guy can be a witness too, the one you just handcuffed. But go to the spot. Don't make an hour out of it. Dude, this is really important to us. Everyone, including you. We need to make it a precedence until we actually have the answer. Because everybody is looking for this answer. So if we can now, mind you, I understand if somebody's trying to stab somebody or whatever the hell else it is the cop is doing that day, I understand. It takes precedence over this.
Right.
I don't want you to risk your life for this, but if you can find a way to go to this response in a matter of minutes versus an hour, okay. I think that the police department will get an answer. I think the world will get an answer, and whoever that police officer is, and I'm telling you right now, whoever that cop is, he's going to be a rock star in the world. That guy will be in every movie, everything.
Yeah,
there's a thing that guy can't get.
There'll be a
So
call.
think about that. Yeah,
So
they'll want to talk to you, dude.
What we're looking at here,
be that super cop.
What we're looking at here is the a drone footage on the next day of somebody, I guess, took it maybe from the news or whatever. But this is the actual backyard from the.
Yeah, it's all gravel.
From the air, it's all gravel. So you can see to the left, there's a swimming pool, and then straight in the backyard, it's just straight up gravel. So, I mean, okay, just kind of think about this in a logical sense, just for a minute, okay? I'm not saying I'm an alien, or I'm not saying, let's just say as a pilot, okay? So if you're coming in, right, and something's wrong with your craft or something's wrong with your airplane, and this is probably what happened, man. So I think this is probably what happened. Something went wrong, and they came down. So were to be a great spot for you to come down. Now, would you come down on top of the house?
That's the best spot.
Or would you come down on that open area right there? Right,
that open area.
There's no way else. I mean, I saw the more where it was more pulled out from this, and it's just like in the house. You've got this one open space. You're true. It's true. I mean, you're right.
Yeah,
I wouldn't park my helicopter anywhere else.
Exactly, and you know, and let's just say it was 50 times bigger than this. You think it would have landed right there and smashed all those houses to hell? I don't think so. You know, they would have probably figured out a different place to land it. But I mean, that's just the point of view that I'm looking at it at that point. Now, let's talk about the extraterrestrials that was actually seen.
Can I bring up one thing?
Go ahead.
That gravel area. When you put gravel down like that, you don't just do it an inch or two thick. You do it like 4-6 inches. Sometimes I've even had it as deep as a foot, because you want it to last forever. You're going to run front end loaders in there.
Right.
There are other places that were saying that there'd be a big indentation. Not necessarily with gravel. Gravel's totally different than sand or dirt.
Right.
You know, it makes an impression like this when you we've dropped big containers on the ground, and this is pretty much what they do on gravel. You know, there's other naysayers out there that I just wanted to clip that in the bud a little bit and say, you know, it doesn't react like soil does.
No, it does not.
That's true. That is exactly right. That's exactly right.
I was riding a friend of mine's CB750 motorcycle one day, and I got kind of ahead of him a long way. I thought I better pull over, so I pulled off the side of the road, and guess what I found? About 8 inches deep gravel.
Yeah.
The problem was it was his motorcycle. So when I buried the front end of that, I went flying over the front end of that bike.
Ouch.
I got back onto the bike as fast as I could and pulled it back out and met him on the side of the road.
Is that when you fall and you hope nobody saw you fall, kind of thing?
Okay, so there was somebody that saw me, and I started yelling at them, and they got out of there. But they actually saw me go in the air over the handlebars.
Okay.
That was the day I became a member of the Over the Handlebars Club.
You too.
You too, yeah, I get that. That's you can't get past it.
Yeah.
I don't ride. I haven't rode a motorcycle really in a while.
Let's talk about the extraterrestrials. That was a good thing. So what we're looking at is the left was the actual footage from the video. Took stills from it because it was so shaky. It was kind of hard to see, you know, what was going on. People were trying to make out exactly what they were seeing. So actually the one on the left and the one on the right, somebody cleared it up a little bit. It's basically the same photo, but it's moved over a little bit in a different angle. I guess there was two cameras filming, maybe three, but this is what's been out there so far, because not everybody has TikTok, not everybody has Facebook. You know, imagine the ones in the family that didn't have these apps, social media apps, that what footage they have on their actual cameras or phones. So these are the ones we're looking at, right? Yeah.
Are you able to bring that center one up to the middle?
No, I can't zoom it in. It won't let me zoom in. But it's the center one, what we're looking at. So what I did was I did some digging the next couple of days later, and I started going through videos and people talking about it. And so the one in the center, what you're looking at, there was a gentleman that lived a couple of doors away. He wanted to remain anonymous. Okay. So he says when he heard the boom, he went to his backyard because that's where it happened. He heard it. So he said he had those monitor lights, those motion sensor lights. So it was pitch dark. It was pitch dark in the backyard. He could see something moving around, but he couldn't tell until it came closer. Once it came closer, the motion light turned on. Luckily, he had his phone in his hand, and he shot 5 photos of this thing. Right when he shot the 5 photos, he said only 1 came out. Right. We always had the blurry photos, the Bigfoot photos. We'll never get one that's real clear. This one actually came out pretty darn good for being outside. Now, to me, it does kind of look like the alien on the right. It does. It kind of does look like it. The one on the right looks a little bit more bug-eyed in a sense, where the eyes are more. They're coming out a little bit more.
He could just be looking towards the camera and his face up a little bit, which would make the eyes look bigger.
Exactly, and that's true too. So he says this thing looked at me, and when he shot the pictures, he said it came out dark, so he had to intensify and brighten them up, clarify them a little bit, and that was the best one that he got out of all of them. Now, is this
seeing that 8 or 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall? Oh, he had some help taking those pictures. Just to stand there.
Yeah. What's up, Kerry?
This is what I saw.
Is that the one?
That's who I saw.
Well, then that's the one there.
That's him. The one in the middle, 100% for sure.
He said it was kind of grayish green looking. I mean, not green, but it had a real pale. It was a pale gray, in between gray and green in a sense.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that before we had that first meeting with A.S.D.P.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't move, so I was looking. I was sleep paralysis, I guess, is what they call it. But right. You're wide awake, and this is exactly the same color skin. The face is a little bit different, but yeah, man,
this is what you saw too.
It's scary just sitting there looking.
Well, if y'all don't know, David is an actual he's been in the presence of an extraterrestrial as a child and as a young adult as well. So he's been kind of going through this for a long time. So he knows what these things look like as well, just like Terry does. So I'm glad you guys are understood to tell folks that this is what you guys saw as well. So in other words, if this is what you guys saw, then pretty much this is the dead ringer, right? This is the nail in the coffin.
That's it. I think we got disclosure.
Yeah, I think so too. So Mark Stockton says, wasn't one of the guys at the gate armed? I did see that. I saw I think it was the uncle or whatever. He had a sidearm. Yeah, he had a
there without again.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I show up every time with one.
But when they were walking out, he was armed. He never had his hand on the pistol. I saw that. And then when and he even jumped back too, and he's armed, man. But he didn't have the pistol out or in his hand or anything, so he didn't even have a chance to get it out. So I guess he was freaked out just as bad about it.
I got something to say about what happens here. When you look these things eye to eye, I'm not exactly sure what everybody else is, but when I saw what I saw and we looked eye to eye, we were locked. I couldn't break my look. It stopped me. It stopped everything I was doing. Before we actually made eye-to-eye contact, I had already felt a calm come over me. Something that made me feel like everything was okay before I saw what I was going to see.
Right.
I had a complete calming come over me. My stepson, who was sitting beside me in the car, he had the same thing. He said he felt a complete calm come over him. And then we saw what we saw.
Right.
Yeah, we saw the craft. I saw the eye to eye. He was more looking at the craft itself. But
Well,
it stunned me. It was like all of a sudden, I couldn't pop my clutch on the car. I couldn't hit the brake. There was a lot of, I came to a stop. Thank God I came to a stop first. We came to a stop, and then I looked at this thing, and then, we didn't move. It was like we were kind of stuck.
Right.
We didn't want to turn. We didn't want to drive. We didn't know what else to do. We were looking at this, and our mind just like froze the hell up. You don't know what's next here. You're looking at something that's like almost like a bear attack without the trauma.
Let me ask you guys a question, since both of you guys have seen this, David and yourself. When you're looking at that picture in the middle, which pretty much is a dead ringer for both of you guys, when you're seeing that photo, is it kind of traumatizing for you in a sense to see it, or does it freak you? In other words, what I'm trying to say, does it kind of freak you out a little bit by seeing the picture that's kind of close to it? Because I know it probably won't be exactly what you saw, but it'd be close to it. I mean,
I want to have a conversation with it. What
are your thoughts, David?
I am a little bit triggered. Yeah, only because of what happened to me when I was young.
Right.
But lately, I mean, I haven't told you guys about this, but night before last night, we had an incident here at the house, and it didn't just involve myself; it involved the whole family. My wife, my children, they all heard this. There was knocking outside on our window when we were up in the master. The kids heard it downstairs. I come downstairs, and I thought somebody was just had some popping off some fireworks.
Right.
And went outside. Everything's dead quiet. Nobody talking at all. If somebody's out there doing fireworks, then they're talking and having a good time. There was nothing. Dead silence. That night, I had my most recent encounter, and I was not sleeping this time. Wide awake. And it's just like he said, just like Terry says, your mind sort of goes blank. I think that's by design. I think they do that, because they want to talk to you. They don't speak to you through your ears. You hear it in your mind. It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like having headphones inside your brain.
Yeah, well, it's like a lot of people complain. Well, not complain, but they say there's the ringing in the ears. I get that all the time, and
I guess that nonstop.
Yeah, and it's nonstop, and it could drive you nuts. I think William Shatner, believe it or not, he had that, and it almost drove him crazy. I don't know how he was able to get rid of it, but I know there's a story of him saying that he had that ringing in his ear, and it got him so sick, it was getting him sick, that he couldn't figure it out why their ears couldn't stop ringing. But of course, us as ufologists, we're kind of putting things together. And hey, who's not to say that he was probably approached by something that he just probably not talking about, maybe, or not conscious enough to know that something happened to him.
When I go in a cave, it goes away.
Okay.
Nice.
That's weird. But there's a lot of caves where I live, so every single time I go into a cave, it completely goes away.
Wow. Well, that's a new one. I've never heard of that one.
It's strange, but every single time.
Well, I wish we had caves over here in South Texas, but unfortunately, we're full of water, man. That's all we have over here.
They are.
And heat. So, I mean, now that we got some logistics of what happened, the extraterrestrial and the thing that everybody saw, the trauma that he's having, that young kid, Angel, I guess that's his name. We pretty much put it all together for folks to kind of figure it out for themselves, what they think they possibly saw, and or not what they think what they saw, but we know what they saw. It's just getting the correct story out there. They're already talking about that these people went dark, they disappeared, the government picked them up. I think David just sent me an article this morning or today about they set up cameras behind their houses already. Yep. There's actually a camera system.
They call this for their safety.
Yeah, for their safety.
What? You're going to stop them with a camera? No, come on.
Yeah.
They know they just want to
the incident's over, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they're coming back. I think they just...
Yeah, it's probably not going to... Lightning's not going to strike twice.
And if it does, well, then they forgot something. They left something behind. You know what I mean?
Part of their craft.
Yeah, or they dropped something, you know. I'm not going to say out of their pocket because I don't know if they were wearing clothes.
Well,
but
we're seeing these crafts, so you're looking at them and all of a sudden they disappear and then they're back again. So they have a smoking device. You know,
exactly.
That could have been there while they were walking around. They might have walked through it. You know, who knows how far that cloaking goes. You know what I mean? Do you bump into something that's not there, or does it allow you to walk through it, pass through it, and just like feel the hairs go up on your skin? You know.
My question is, how come the sheriff's department doesn't have rag counters?
I don't know.
You know, that would make sense if they're going to investigate that specific thing. You'd think they'd have a something that could read the magnetic fields, rad counters, or maybe, I'm just going to throw this out there, maybe they could hire A.S.D.P ufologists with all that equipment to come out and check it.
That's right.
All they got to do is realize that we have people in every part of the world.
That's right.
And we have people that take care of stuff like this in every region. And at some point, every one of us that are in charge in those regions are going to have that type of equipment. So when the police have something like this take place, we can come out and we can take care of this part of the investigation with the enforcement that's in place. Now, I want to make sure that everybody knows we don't A.S.D.P. We don't require any government, not whatsoever, anywhere in the world for disclosure. What we do have is we have the ability to help you investigate whatever's going on that you can't explain. Okay? We have the equipment, we have the cameras, we have night vision, we have rad counters, we have magnetic field counters, we have things like that. And at some point, we're going to make sure all of our investigators have the exact equipment that's required to take care of the things that you don't have, because you're not going to carry that in your car. You need things like bulletproof vests and machine guns and shotguns and things. But we're not going to say that a regular police officer or even a detective should have this stuff. They've got their own things going on.
Right. Well, I mean, okay. What say you, David? I mean, we just don't know, just doesn't do aliens. We actually do supernatural as well.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what's your say on that, David?
I'm ready to go anytime. We can find out if it's paranormal. We can find it all the way to ufology. So anytime anybody needs any help, all they got to do is reach out. We just need to get on their radar as far as the law enforcement. Once we're on their radar, they'll know who to call.
Right on. Well, I mean, David's part of our paranormal team as far as a ufologist as well. But there's a few of us that actually do both. You know what I mean? Of course, we specialize in ufology, but we do paranormal because we know they're connected. And that's what we do here at Alien Strand Disclosure Project. And I'm glad that David's a part of it. I'm glad that Terry Linch and I are part of it, and we put it together. Now, Terry, you have something to say about what do we got for Alien Strand Disclosure Project about maybe getting some folks involved in
Right. Okay, so I'd like to put an invitation out to people in different locations around the regions around the world, not just in the United States. I want people from Brazil, Chile. I want people from Iran, Iraq. I want people from Taiwan. I want as many people that think that they can film what we're looking at. I I want you guys to get your cameras up, pointed towards the sky. I want people to become members of A.S.D.P. We want world collusion and ufology. And at this point, when we do this, what it does is it removes the government from this. We don't require the government for disclosure. We are disclosure A.S.D.P. And I have one more thing that I want to state before I get out of here. I got kind of a weight issue, and I'd like to find out what one of our gentlemen here has to say about weight issues.
Well, I am a health coach. My wife is a health coach with me. We together have lost 145 pounds. It keeps going. So
awesome.
Over this past year alone, we work with a really great company. It's so easy. I mean, I've never been able to do any kind of weight loss without yo-yo dieting. I mean, it always comes back, but with this, it's totally different. It changes your mindset, changes your life, changes what you want to put into your body for fuel. Anybody who needs help, let me know. I'd love to be able to share it with you.
What's it called?
It's Optavia.
Optavia. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, oops, shoot. I'm sorry. Just for a minute. So if anybody wants the, get some health care or, wants to lose some weight, call Mr. David and he'll help you out in that. Now, if you if you think you've been abducted or you're having trauma, you're having all any kind of issues like that, talk to David. David's in charge of that as well. You can go to our website, ASDP-UFO.com. Go over there and his phone number is in there, his email, all our emails are there. So if you want to email us, any of us, you can email us there and talk to us as well. Now, we are looking for donations and contributors as well. So we're gonna put it up on our main page, so that way if anybody wants to be help donate with our organization and get it going, this helps pay the website. It doesn't pay any of us, but just kind of helps keep it going and just it keeps everything going, because a lot of the stuff does get expensive. $1, $5, $10, $1,000, whatever you want to donate would be excellent. That way we can get more disclosure, we can get more equipment for ufologists, so we can have more things to go investigate. Right, that's what it's about, disclosure, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to make your life easier with David and Mr. Terry Linch, and up there in Oregon, and David's in South Carolina. It's just one of those things. We're here to help you guys, and I'm glad you guys are here to watch our show today. And as we talked about, this Nevada landing, not a crash, landing. So that's what we got so far. Hopefully we'll get some more information out of it. And I just want to thank you guys for being on the show today. Thank you, David. Thank you, Mr. Terry Linch, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Oregon ufology.
Right on. So anyways, there we'll have links to everything after this podcast. We'll be on YouTube, it'll be on Twitter, and it'll be on Facebook. So all the links will be there to this podcast today. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the content. Give us a shout out. Talk to any of these guys if you need any help. We'll be glad to help you. Thank you, Mark Stockton, and thank you, David Nash, and thank you for being here, and Cindy. Thank you for your comments. Anytime we're on, we're here to answer and help you guys as well. All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to you guys later, and then I'll close out the show.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. We talked a lot of points, and we did a lot of investigating on what happened in Nevada through A.S.D.P. And David did a really good job on getting everything out there for us and Terry and a lot of our other investigators. They were all on board. So we have a special group where we talk about everything that we do, and we put it out there as soon as possible. So if you guys can, like I said, there's a lot of disclosure there on our website. Go check it out, man. Don't be afraid to jump on there, and it's free. Everything on there is free. So you can go to Alien Strand Disclosure Project, and you can see everything that's happening there, on our page. There it is right there at the bottom at the ticker. So go check that out. visit our page, give us a shout out, go watch The Middle. Please go watch The Middle. It's free on Tubi TV. You can't beat that with a stick, man. Free, come on, man. Or that's with commercials. If you don't like commercials, $2.99 on Amazon Prime Video. So go check it out there. No commercials. You can shoot right through it. And it's a great film with Mr. Chair Lynch. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Until then, you guys have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening. Have yourselves a good night.